worked with Diana Ross, by the way.
Yeah, I have worked with Diana Ross.
Was that
It was very nice. It was nice. One day, actually, Brandy and I were sitting, talking in our chairs, and Diana Ross came over, Miss Ross, with actually a magazine, a Life magazine. It was Life or Look magazine, of her on the cover. That was like sometime like 73 or something like that, and just laid it on right in front of us, like, here, children. Here you go, children. Y'all think y'all are doing something? Let me show you this. We looked at each other like, excuse me.
The Unexpected Journey of Alan Payne, a story of silence, grief, and rediscovery. For over a decade, Alan Payne remained out of the public eye. No interviews, no media buzz, just silence. But that silence spoke volumes. Fans were left wondering, where did he go? Why did he step back after roles like CJ Payne in House of Payne and G Money in New Jack City? Then, out of nowhere, he spoke. And what he said felt like a goodbye we didn't see coming.
I think that when you're as famous as she was at that time, and especially that was a specific time when black folks, we got a lot of famous black folks now. We didn't have as many superstars as we did then. Back then, when she was a superstar, she was one of very few. So I think that there's a lot of things that they have to endure as that person. There's a lot of racism, a lot of stuff that we may not necessarily have to deal with today. So I think a lot of people are critical of her, but at the same time, I think that, who knows what she had to go through at that time.
From Harlem to Hollywood. Born Alan Roberts on July 7, 1968, in Harlem, New York, Alan didn't come from a family of celebrities. Raised in a working-class environment, he understood early on that if he wanted a better life, he'd have to create it himself. He studied acting in New York, landing small roles in the late 80s and early 90s. His big break came in 1991 when he was cast as G Money in New Jack City. His portrayal of a loyal friend turned tragic figure was raw and unforgettable. Despite the fame, Alan stayed grounded. He wasn't interested in the Hollywood spotlight, he was focused on his craft. He became known in the industry for his professionalism, always on time, always prepared, never chasing clout. The Heart of House of Payne. In 2006, Alan took on the role of CJ Payne in Tyler Perry's House of Payne. The show centered on a multi-generational black family navigating everyday life, and CJ was its heart. Alan brought depth to the character, portraying a man who made mistakes, lost his way, but kept fighting for his family. His performance resonated with viewers, tackling real-life issues like addiction, grief, and family tension. But then, something changed. Fans noticed CJ wasn't showing up like he used to. Episodes passed, then entire seasons, and Alan was gone from the show. No explanation, just silence. Rumors started circulating: health issues, burnout, behind-the-scenes drama. But without any real answers, it was all speculation.
I want to be an actor, or I want to be a star, or you set a goal for yourself.
A personal loss. The truth was more personal. In 2012, Alan's mother passed away. She had been his foundation, supporting his dreams from the start. Her loss hit him hard, not just emotionally, but spiritually. Insiders described it as soul exhaustion, a deep emotional fatigue that made everything feel heavy. After her passing, Alan started pulling away, not just from the public eye, but from people in his personal circle too. There was no big announcement. He was grieving privately, in his own way. Some of his closest friends said he barely answered calls, stopped showing up to events, and even on set, he was quieter than usual. This wasn't about fame anymore. Alan was dealing with real-life loss and heartbreak. Behind-the-scenes struggles. But grief wasn't the only weight Alan was carrying. For years, he had been quietly dealing with mental health struggles, feelings of anxiety, isolation, and depression. He wasn't vocal about it, but people who worked closely with him noticed the signs. Long days where he wouldn't speak to anyone unless needed, a lack of interest in scripts, and the spark he once brought to CJ Payne began to dim.
God blessed me. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Hard work, perseverance, belief in myself.
Professionally, he was frustrated too. While House of Payne gave him stability and visibility, Alan had grown increasingly dissatisfied with the material. He wanted more than repetitive storylines, he wanted to evolve, to tell richer stories. But the show often stuck to safe, recycled plots that didn't reflect the complexity of real life anymore. Behind the scenes, that created friction. Some insiders say he felt stuck playing a role that once meant everything but now felt limiting. Choosing himself. Amidst all this, Alan made a choice. He stepped back not because of scandal or failure, but because he needed to breathe. One longtime friend described it this way: Alan didn't disappear, he just finally chose himself. When rumors about his health surfaced, the gossip machine did what it always does: filled the gaps with fiction. Some said he had checked into rehab, others claimed he was feuding with Tyler Perry. But none of these rumors came from Alan himself. What was confirmed was that he made a conscious decision to step away for his own healing. A quiet return. In 2018, Alan made a quiet return not through a flashy press tour or a scripted announcement, but during a surprise live interview. There was no attempt to clear up rumors. He talked openly about the grief that swallowed him after his mother's passing, about waking up with no motivation, about showing up to set sometimes going through the motions, wondering why it didn't feel like enough anymore.
It's your girl MC Beauty rocking right here, Indigo Lounge, Houston, Texas. I got my man, the one and only, the only Alan Payne. What's up, baby?
What's up, mama? How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
Good, good. I'm just chilling with Mo. You know, we come celebrate with Mo.
Capricorn's in the building. I'm a Capricorn too, so we gotta go big.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Then came the line that hit fans the hardest: I questioned my purpose. I wanted to walk away. That moment didn't feel rehearsed, it felt alive. You could see it on his face, a man who had carried more than he ever let show and was finally releasing some of it. During that same interview, Alan shared what fans had quietly feared: he was stepping away from traditional acting. The roles he was being offered no longer felt real to him. They didn't challenge him, they didn't speak to his heart. After years of ignoring that inner voice, he finally chose to listen. He made it clear that from now on, he'd only take projects that align with his personal values. Then, he turned to the fans. He thanked them not in a generic way, but with visible emotion. You stayed with me even when I didn't know how to stay with myself. And then came the line that brought the entire moment full circle: if this is the last time you see me, know I gave it all I had. That wasn't a goodbye to his talent, it was a goodbye to the pressure, to the box he was placed in, to the version of Alan that kept pushing forward even when his spirit was running on empty. A new beginning. It's not the end, but it might be the last chapter as we know it. Alan may be stepping out of the mainstream spotlight, but he's not disappearing. In many ways, he's just beginning a new journey, one that centers healing, truth, and purpose. He's already started mentoring young Black actors, guiding them through the same industry that often tries to swallow people whole. He's also expressed interest in writing, maybe even directing, not for fame, but to tell stories that reflect real pain, real love, and real growth. Most importantly, he's focused on himself: therapy, self-care, rest, things he admits he neglected for too long. He's still battling his inner world, the scars of grief, the weight of decades in a high-pressure industry, and the quiet moments of doubt that linger even after the cameras stop rolling. But there's strength in him now, a steady kind. Alan Payne isn't chasing applause anymore, he's chasing peace. And that brings us to where Alan Payne is today, not in the middle of Hollywood lights or chasing the next big role, but somewhere much quieter, more meaningful. After decades of working hard in the entertainment world, he's now choosing something most celebrities struggle to find: peace. Alan's journey shows us that success doesn't always mean staying in the spotlight forever. Sometimes, success is knowing when to step away. He didn't disappear because he had to, he walked away because he wanted to protect his heart, his mind, and his spirit. Losing his mother, struggling with grief, feeling boxed in creatively, and quietly dealing with mental health, all of that built up over time. And instead of pretending everything was fine, he did the brave thing. He listened to himself. He made a decision for his own well-being, even if that meant letting go of the fame and attention. What's inspiring is that Alan didn't use his pain to gain headlines. He didn't go on talk shows or post long explanations online. He kept it real. He spoke up when he was ready, and when he did, his words hit hard. If this is the last time you see me, know I gave it all I had. That wasn't just a line, it was closure. Not just for his fans, but for himself. Now, he's choosing roles and projects based on what matters to him personally. He's mentoring young actors, helping guide them through the same industry that took so much from him. He's focusing on healing, self-care, and living life on his terms. Not for fame, not for applause, but for peace. Whether or not Alan Payne ever returns to acting full-time, one thing is clear: his story isn't just about Hollywood. It's about life. It's about grief, growth, and the power of choosing yourself when it matters most. He showed us that it's okay to walk away when something no longer serves you. That real strength sometimes looks like silence. That healing doesn't happen in front of a camera, it happens when no one's watching. To everyone watching this, if you're going through a quiet season of your own, just know you're not alone. Sometimes stepping back is exactly what you need to move forward. And if Alan's story teaches us anything, it's that choosing peace over pressure is always the right move. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did Alan's story surprise you? Inspire you? I'd love to hear what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this, real stories about real people, just like Alan Payne. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. It's about life. It's about grief, growth, and the power of choosing yourself when it matters most. He showed us that it's okay to walk away when something no longer serves you. That real strength sometimes looks like silence. That healing doesn't happen in front of a camera, it happens when no one's watching. To everyone watching this, if you're going through a quiet season of your own, just know you're not alone. Sometimes stepping back is exactly what you need to move forward. And if Alan's story teaches us anything, it's that choosing peace over pressure is always the right move. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did Alan's story surprise you? Inspire you? I'd love to hear what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this, real stories about real people, just like Alan Payne. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.